Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Sagittarius. If Sagittarius is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, let's see what we have going on here today, Sagittarius. And our card for this reading is the Ace of Discs. And this has everything to do with starting new projects, a influx of resources, monetary or otherwise, building things in your life. In your mundane base reality in the material world, right? And this can also be like learning new skills and things like that. Going to school. Okay. So it looks like everything's on this side. We have a lot of room over here. Okay. So first of all, I want to look at, we have, of course, it looks like a crescent moon here. And that's pretty large and bulky there. So we do have that lunar energy. And that really does make me think this must be kind of more related to the beginnings of some kind of creation, maybe conceptualizing a new business, new some kind of program, volunteer kind of thing, or taking on a new hobby, creating maybe well, I don't know. I mean, it could be something. I just feel like there's a lot of creativity here, and it could be something like if you were building maybe like some kind of furniture or a house. You're starting with those blueprints, right? This is the stage we're in. We haven't started using our hands yet to build the thing, but we are getting all of the materials, getting the plans together, doing the research. And so under that moon, it really is that creative impulse and a sense of emotional attachment to the project. So this is something that is meaningful to you. Okay, and this is why I would think, and we turn it here, we have this one looks like a llama. Okay, and it's the same moon, but it's turned, and now we have the llama. And the llama is a pack animal. Okay, fairly friendly, mostly docile, but steadily moving forward, right? This is, these animals go right up the sides of mountains, So I look at this and I think, you are really, you have a resolve to get this thing going. You're really getting all of the things together. I think that you have an intense motivation here. And I think a lot of this has to do with wanting to reorient your life in such a way that it feels meaningful to you, that you are doing something that you can enjoy doing it, right? Something that you like doing, but even more than that, it's just not a mental, emotional, spiritual burden to be doing this work day in and day out. I think you're at that part of your life where you want to find something. It doesn't have to be like the most passionate thing in the world, but to find something that you can find a bit of spiritual, emotional, and mental shelter within. Something that helps ease, that existential pain of living. We all have it. Nobody's happy all the time, right? Not many people are very content all the time either. And if you are, then, kudos to you, because you are living the dream. But, it is our job in life to find things that make living easier for us. Okay. And yeah, does that have to do with making resources, finding something that, adheres to a schedule that makes sense to us? I mean, when I was young, I worked jobs that had varying hours, sometimes in the morning, sometimes at night, sometimes I worked all night long. And now as an older person, I absolutely could not be doing that. It couldn't be working a graveyard shift, because I know myself well enough that just would really, it would be a detriment to my mental health, ultimately. So we get to these points in life where we know that's not going to work for me. I got to figure this out, right? I got to figure out, what am I going to do? How am I going to find something that, provides, not only the means to live, but meaning to my life, right? And so we are on that journey. And I think that, more and more people have become entrepreneurs. More and more people have found ways to have, side businesses, or, find a niche for themselves, within whatever their chosen career path is. It doesn't have to be that you are starting your own business, but maybe you are finding a position within a company that, you share the ethos, more closely. But whatever it is, ultimately, and listen, this doesn't have to always, I know I talk about this like it's just work, work, work. Well, this could also be if you are in that phase of your life where maybe you're retired, or, like I had been predominantly a stay-at-home parent for the last years. And you're in that kind of situation. Well, there are a lot of other things, that we have to find. We have to find something to do that is meaningful. If that is creative stuff, crafting, organizing for things within our community, volunteer work, I remember my grandparents, they always had pinochle games and card nights and that kind of thing. And, just finding something that you enjoy doing, right? And okay, we'll go here and then here. Actually, let's go here. We have a stop sign, okay, right here. So I do feel, and this is in the emotional zone. And I also feel like this relates to this. I feel like there are some roadblocks, right? There's some things that you had to, or you will have to, figure out, okay? And I think this is mainly to do with either time management or the fact that you have a primary, job or responsibility. And this thing that you're doing is going to be more of a secondary job, hustle, whatever. It might not always be that way. Of course, it could, maybe this will become your primary source of income. But I see with the stop sign, really, a sense of considering, right? And I don't see it as like, okay, stop, this is a bad way to go, but more that there needs to be a lot of thought into the things that you're doing, okay? Being realistic about how are you going to kind of balance your time, your efforts, not neglecting your responsibilities to do this thing, but also finding, the time and resources and will to put into it. So if you've ever started a big project that you plan to consistently work on, it is a devotion of a lot of time, depending on what you're doing. And to grow anything, that takes time as well. And a lot of different things, moving parts and so on. So I think that, not thinking that it's just going to get on overnight, right? You got to take your time with this, and stop and do the work that you need to do to further this thing, okay? Being thoughtful and realistic is really the energy that I'm getting. And Pudgy's just jumping all over there. Pudgy. Okay, let's see. We have a goat here, okay? And it looks like it's kind of it looks like it has its mouth open and saying something there. We do, with the goat energy, it is all about being able to traverse difficult situations, having the wherewithal to, think on in the moment, if you think about a goat kind of climbing the side of, the side of a mountain or the side of a hill and finding their footing in like tiny little crevices and just really very agile and sturdy, right? All of this, and then on top of it, just really having usually a pretty, some of them are silly, especially the little ones are silly, but having a pretty happy, enjoyable disposition. So quite an energy, right? So I feel that, you're going to figure this out. You're really good at making things work one way or another. You're good at finding, all of the little missing parts, putting the thing together and getting it done. So I feel like this is going to be an interesting challenge for you. And I feel like this is something that's really going to kind of rally your spirits. I think that you, sometimes get into a place where you're feeling a little bit listless, maybe kind of out at sea, just kind of bobbing around in the water, not really knowing which direction to go. But when you get a project going or you have some kind of, intense interest or passion for something, the wheel starts spinning and you are off to the races, okay? And I think this is a lovely energy, wonderful time. Now, we have a person with their arms up, and it looks like they are letting this bird go. I almost feel, and we have some birds over here as well. So I almost feel like this is kind of, if you've ever watched any of those like videos of people releasing animals that have been injured and they rehabbed them and then they let them go, and it's always like super teary-eyed and I feel like in a lot of ways there's been a lot of healing. You've spent a lot of time this last year really looking at your life, looking at your relationships, and deciding what is best for you. Not in relation to other people, but yourself. And sometimes that's been hard. Other times you've known exactly what you want and what you need to do. And I feel like your spirit really has, your energy, your confidence has been mended to such a degree that I can see almost like that dove being released into the air. There is a sense of tranquility, of peace, serenity. And I think this plays a lot into why you are ready to start this big project, why your creativity, your motivation, your inspiration, it's all there and it's all aligned. And I really think this is going to be quite a beautiful cycle for you. And so I also see, now let's turn this once more, and we have the home here, okay, with the doorway. And here it almost looks like a little mailbox. So I do think that you will be receiving some good news, okay? And I feel like this is going to be in correlation with a firmer sense of security. Your home life, your domestic life, very solid, okay? I feel like the bills are going to be paid. I feel like you can kind of breathe a little easier, okay? This next year coming up, I think, is going to be one of, renewed fortune, success, and your ambition is really through the roof. I really think that, a lot of us have struggled in the last few years, for sure, and continue to do so. But I think that you have taken that struggle and made something of it. You have decided that it is not going to, take over your life and like drown you. I think that you have decided that you are going to embrace your power. You're going to have your voice and use it, and, do something with the energies you have. And it's a beautiful feeling. I feel, I'm in here. We have another goat, and this one looks like it is kind of, almost in a like a posture of power, of dance, ecstatic movement. And I think that this really, I just see you as getting into this place of leadership, coming up into the next months. I can see you even getting to a place where you will be teaching others what you know how to do. So I think that this endeavor that you have going on, that's really going to solidify some security in your life, probably financial, but also boosting your confidence. And so the perception of security is there. And as you are doing these things, you feel empowered to the point where I think that you will be helping others find their power. Now, I think this is often in the distance a bit, but I do think this will come. And I think that this is maybe going to be one of those higher forms of being for you. Being a teacher, being a mentor, being somebody who is showing your direct community how to do things. How to empower themselves, how to make resources for themselves. And, that is a wonderful gift to be able to give to other people. Okay, so let's take a look over here. And it looks like we have a little whale right here, which is always a beautiful sign, very psychic. I feel when we have the whale, I think there's a deep psychic communication. It seems almost like we have some, almost mediumship or kind of a divine inspiration coming through. Very in tune with your ancestors, with your elders, with your bloodline. And I think that, all of this makes sense to me because I feel that maybe the people that you will be helping and bringing into their own education and understanding, probably people within your family, maybe the younger generation, helping them figure out how are they going to be empowered going out into this world, figuring out how to make money, you know. And the world has changed so much in the last 15 years. You know, going away to college and all that is really, you know, that's wonderful. That is ideal. But there are a lot of ways to make money, to have careers now. And so, you know, it's almost like we all have to know how to do a lot of different things. And so when we have people in our family, in our close community that are willing to share their knowledge, that is a big deal. Okay. Now we also have the owl and we have a moth. Okay. And so we have these kind of night creatures. We also had that moon. So I feel that there is a little bit of this night side going on. Dreams, visions coming through. Things that seem a little bit more magical, a little bit more surreal. That could be this time of year. Here we are having in the northern hemisphere, we are having Halloween come soon. I think, I don't even know what's the date. I think it's the 15th, 16th maybe. So I was trying to think. I'm taking my daughter to a big, and it's not on the Day of the Dead because that's in November 1st, I think. But we're going the week before Halloween, and I'm really looking forward to that. But there's a lot of stuff going on, and it feels very magical. It's so beautiful outside where I'm at, so maybe it is where you are as well. And you can't help but feel a little drawn to the night as they're getting longer. They really are. So, interesting times, beautiful times, a time to honor that night part of yourself, that shadowy part of yourself. Being kind to those hurts, to those places that maybe we don't like to show to other people, you know, and we could have a long talk about shadow work, but I won't go there. We're almost done with this reading. But I do think, you know, this is a great time to start thinking about that shadow work. As the nights draw on longer and longer. And with that owl, I really do think that with the owl and the moth, in the symbolic sense, somebody drawn to you, something drawn to you, like a moth to light. Use your wisdom of the owl. Use your perception. Be discerning. Okay? Oftentimes, those who push our understanding of reality come to us in the night. Okay? Come to us in these night side eras of our life. Can be challenging. Be safe, right? Sometimes people become quite unhinged. So you must be discerning. But when we meet people who belong to our path, you know, we help each other grow in different ways, learn about new things, you know, share energies. That is always a beautiful thing. Okay, so we have the Earthbound Oracle cards, and I'm going to go ahead and I just kind of stop where it feels right. And it says a guide. Okay, so I feel this makes sense, that night side visitor, a guide coming through. Okay, so I think this will come through in your dreams. Maybe you are somebody who can perceive entities, intelligences, in the physical realm. You know, sometimes I wake up and I feel you know, that there is something visiting me. I can feel it. I won't gender it, but, you know, kind of standing in the room. And, you know, sometimes it happens, and it is accompanied by profound insights, heavy emotions, right? Visions. There's one I talked about before. This happened, I guess, 2 years ago. I started having these dreams about an entity coming in on the wind, and kind of in this time of the year, in the dream, I was standing beneath a tree, and it came in, and it like a little whirlwind around me. I could feel it. I could hear it. It was trying to steal my breath. And so, you know, it was very potent. It was a very potent series of dreams, and I won't really get into all the details of it. It's boring. Our dreams are sometimes boring to other people. But set me off on a path of new work. Very tied into the number 7, and interesting new ways of using sympathetic magic, and so you know, and so it is. These things happen, and they come to us. They show themselves to us, and it's up to us to decide, where shall we take this? Okay, and so I think look out for that spirit guide, that guardian angel, this intelligence that wants to commune with you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you very much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you'd be so kind as to like the video, the reading, it helps us get into the algorithm, and the algorithm kind of really decides what happens with this channel and every channel. So we like to make it happy by giving it the engagement that it wants. These are things like liking the video, sharing the reading on other social media platforms, watching the readings from the beginning to the end, and watching other readings on the channel as well. If you want to watch your other placements, do some cross-watching, you are most welcome to do so. If you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. Other than that, if you want to leave a comment, please do. I love reading each and every one of them, and I do. Sometimes it takes me a minute to get back to you, but I will, and I try my best to reply back to as many as I can every day. And other than that, I thank you. We will talk very soon. Lots of love to you, Sagittarius.